Hey guys, Chelsea from Attention to Details, and today I'm working on this beautiful BMW. I actually coated this vehicle back in July of 2020. Because of COVID, I haven't been able to see the vehicle since then, so this is really my first time to take a look at the coating and see what's going on. We're well over a year past. We're in August of 2021, so it's 13 months since this coating was applied. Now, the customer was set up with maintenance products, ceramic coating toppers, ceramic-friendly soaps, given clear instructions on ideal maintenance scenarios, and from what I have heard, he has been properly maintaining it. So we're going to be doing an inspection on this. I want to share with you guys, for those of you that maybe you have used Owner's Pride coating or you're interested in it, just kind of what you can expect, maybe some issues or non-issues that you might see. I know within some detailing groups that I'm a part of on Facebook, there's been some rumors of some issues with the coating. So this is a really great way for me to show you guys real-world results 1 year later, Owner's Pride coating, how it's holding up. So I'm going to do the tires and wheels and wheel wells, and then we'll bring you back for our initial rinse. Alright, so I've sprayed the entire vehicle down, and it's a little concerning for me because I'm seeing some sweat marks here from actually when the coating was applied. You can see right here, and it's sheeting rather slowly. But this is a year since I've done a decon, since it's really had a good thorough decon. So we're going to go ahead and do a chemical decontamination, any sort of mineral deposits or contaminants that maybe are clogging the performance, and then we'll show the hydrophobics after that. So a couple areas that I'm keeping my eye on, a little concerned, but let's go ahead, do our chemical decon, and see where we're at. The soap we're going to be using today is CarPro Reset. This is a fantastic ceramic coating friendly soap. A lot of detailers will use this to kind of do an inspection of the coating to really see what's going on. It does exactly what the name says it should do. It resets your coating. If you have some toppers on there that we just keep topping and topping, this will kind of reset the coating and give you the true performance of what's going on with the coating. Now, this is different than a ceramic infused shampoo. That's going to actually add to the hydrophobics. It's going to boost it. This is going to give me a true reflection of what's going on. So we're just going to rinse and see where we're at with our hydrophobics. And I can tell you just from looking at the vehicle, there's definitely some issues going on, but it could be residue related. There could be too much residue from the soap on the panel. So we're actually going to use Spotless. This is Owner's Pride water spot remover, and see where we're at. Alright, so I want you guys to see what I'm seeing. This is Owner's Pride Spotless water spot remover. So you can see we have really slow sheeting. I'm going to zoom you in. You can also see some sweat marks. Alright, this was actually kind of cool when I did this on the hood and the side panel. Spraying it on. Working. Rinse it off. And we're back to quick sheeting. So I'm literally off camera scratching my head because that's kind of cool, but at the same time dumbfounding. I still see a couple sweat marks. If I bring you in closer, right here at the top of the door panel, you see right here, we're seeing the sweating marks. So that still has me a little bit concerned because on my test panel that I have, I'm starting to see those as well. But I also was recognizing that on my test panel, if a coating looked like it was failing, first do a good mineral spot, remover, a chemical decon, and then that's your true results, not just the initial water. A lot of people, like myself sometimes, can go knee-jerk and just say, oh, it's failing. Well, it could be clogged. You need to go do a good chemical decon, a good water spot remover. So again, back here. Still have these sweat marks right here. So that right there, it's giving me hope. Does it mean it's failed? No. Maybe it's starting to show a couple signs, but we're 1 year in. It's still holding up with a good chemical decon. So we're going to finish doing this water spot remover to the rest of the vehicle. We are going to do a chemical decon. I don't think we need to do a clay bar treatment because when I come in here, the paint is smooth to the touch. Why abrade the surface if I don't need to? I was honestly transparent, a little nervous going into this video because I didn't know if I was going to have an easy day or a long day. But I would be able to put my name on this with the customer, knowing what I charged them. No coating is permanent, but 1 year in, customer has been maintaining it themselves. We did a good chemical decon, and you can see it's still going strong. So, do we have some light sweat marks in it? Yes. Does that mean it's completely failed? No. I'll be interested to see if they bring it back in 6 months, 2 years. We'll reassess. We'll figure out what we need to do there. I know what I charge a customer for a wash, a decon, a one-step paint polish. Actually, this was pretty like almost two-step because I had it near paint perfection. And then applying our coating. It was still very affordable for the customer. So if they get a 2-year coating out of this, I think I would be happy with the price that I charged them. But the other issue to consider is that this was, a 3-year claim. So we'll assess as we move forward. But at least for those of you that maybe you're on the same situation or on the fence about this, this is a good way to kind of see what's really going on with the coating. So we're just going to finish up doing Spotless on the vehicle and rinsing it off, and then we're going to proceed with our chemical decon. Now, the reason that I did a mineral spot remover before I did the chemical decon is because anytime that I reached out to the manufacturer with questions about the coating, that was the answer that I got for them to troubleshoot. They would say, did you do a mineral spot remover? And so that's why I did that first, to kind of see what was going on. But now that I've done my Xtreme iron remover, worked it into the panel, and we're rinsing that off. And the reason I worked it into the panel is just to give it a little bit more dwell time, see if I could try to agitate some of the ferrous metal off of the panel versus just letting the chemical sit and rinse. I feel like it's not very effective if you just sit and rinse. You want to work it into the panel a little bit just to give that more dwell time and try to agitate some of that ferrous metal off. There really wasn't a whole lot of reaction to the vehicle. I think the customer has been maintaining it pretty well. But you could see after I rinsed the Xtreme iron remover off, the hydrophobics were really stunted again, and I was back to being confused because typically most coatings, when you do a maintenance decon, a chemical remover is going to be what you use. Most people will say do that before a clay bar treatment because this is kind of like the step before it. And it didn't really need a clay bar treatment because I couldn't feel any sort of bumps or texture on the paint. It was smooth to the touch. So again, I was scratching my head saying, what's going on? Why is our hydrophobics clogged? And so we're going to rinse this off, and we're going to actually hit it with our Spotless, the water spot remover, again to see if maybe this is a residue issue, not necessarily a performance issue. All right, so one last time, we're going to hit it with our water spot remover with hopes that we are actually clogged with residue. This is going to be the cleanest BMW ever. You can't say I'm not trying. Fingers crossed. In my opinion, is it the tightest? No. When I've seen Owner's Pride coating fresh, it does have very tight beads. This is more of a sheeting coating versus beading. So, does this look like failure? At this point, no. Is it weakened? Possibly. It's not the tightest hydrophobics. But again, we're going to properly maintain it with the Owner's Pride Ceramic Detailer. That is the product that they recommend to maintain and top it with. So that's what we're going to do to ideally get the maximum results out of this coating. Do I have some concerns in the back of my mind? Yes. I see those sweat marks. They're not going to go away. But when we put the ceramic detailer on, that will replenish the coating, and hopefully that will give us, another 6 months of performance at minimum. I'm going to tell the customer, let's get back into a proper maintenance where you bring it back every 5-6 months. We'll do the same thing with the Spotless OP water spot remover. Honestly, if you're going to purchase this coating, I do recommend that you guys get this to do a proper decon. But anytime I had issues, their first thing would say, did you do a proper water spot remover or decon? And so I can see why they said that. This definitely did replenish the hydrophobics and kind of remove whatever was clogging the panel. So this stuff definitely, I'm going to put the link for it down below. For those of you that maybe you're in a similar situation, I've learned quite a bit in this video myself, and hopefully you guys can learn with me on kind of troubleshooting if you're having issues with your coating or not quite knowing what's going on. Would I say that this is going to last 7 years? No, definitely not. 2-3 years probably at best. If properly maintained, could we get to that 3rd year? I don't know. Possibly. Might have those sweat marks that might weaken it, but hopefully the customer will bring it back every 6 months and we can do check-ins on this. So make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, so for those of you that want to see the hydrophobics after we've done our water spot removal, chemical decon, and again a water spot removal. This is 1 year after applying. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you see any issues? Do you see no reason for concern? Would you be happy with performance like this? Let me know in the comment section down below. Have you had a similar circumstance like this? And what did you do to go about it? I wouldn't say that this is a failure. Would I say that it is what is expected? Maybe not. But We're going to dry it off. We're going to top it. We'll show you the finished result and the look of the coating once everything has been properly maintained. I will say it's definitely protecting the vehicle. We don't have any water spot issues on the coating. We don't have any bugs that have, stuck to it that aren't easily removed. So for that aspect, it is working. And coatings are supposed to make maintenance easier for you. It's doing that for the customer. So it checks many boxes, but does it check the box for durability? That is still up for debate. All right, and we are all done with our first maintenance wash for our Owner's Pride coating on this BMW. Coated back in July 2020. We did, to recap, our CarPro Reset. Then we did our Owner's Pride Spotless water spot remover. Then we did Mckees 37 Xtreme iron remover. We had a little bit of residue clogging up the coating, so we hit it again with the Spotless. And I would say that the coating is doing good. Great? Not quite sure. It's not as tight as I would expect at 1 year, especially for a coating that is rated the way it is. But customer's happy with the results, and really, isn't that all that matters? What does it matter what a detailer says? What matters is the customer happy with the product that they were provided with. Make sure you guys stay tuned, hit that bell notification off to the right. As we see this vehicle for maintenance check-ins, I'll make sure that I do a quick check-in for you guys to show you guys what's going on. I have my own theories. Do I think it's gonna last a full 7 years? No. 5? Probably not. More like 2 to 3, I would say, would be realistic. But again, that's real-world results with the customer maintaining it, not necessarily a detailer who's obsessed with products and babying their vehicles. Now, the customer does enjoy babying this vehicle. He purchased a tire coating to maintain himself. He purchased the soap and the topper that I sold him to use as a drying aid. Does that mean he's been using it? I don't know. It looked decent when I saw it, but not like tight beads, like it was a fresh topper, maybe a couple months since it's had a topper on it. But for me kind of putting it through the ring today, it held up. It's holding up. So at the end of the day, I am happy with these results. This is not enough for me to think that we need to strip it and recoat. I just wanted to bring you guys in for a closer look, for an update on this coating, for those of you that have wanted to kind of see some real world results and what you might be able to expect out of this. Now that tells you proper maintenance is key to some coatings. They can be a little bit more sensitive. Would I expect at 1 year results like this out of every coating? No, it's not the tightest, it's not the fastest sheeting or the tightest beads, but it is still protecting the vehicle. It is still giving it really nice gloss and shine, easier maintenance, and that's really what we purchase coatings for. So each coating is going to be unique and different, and so you can't expect them all to be identical in performance along the way. So for this, I would say here's some realistic real-world results for those of you curious. Make sure you like the video if you learned anything new, but we're going to call this one a wraps. We're going to let the customer know the vehicle is ready to go. And thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you stay cool, stay safe, and we will see you in the next video. Have a great day.